As certain as death and taxes, we are told the meek will definitely inherit the earth. Perhaps, but not always. Consider, if you will, Mr. Archie Lochner, a well-known petty crook, sidebar 6-for-5er Shylock, registered coward, and owner of a yellow streak so vivid it could be slathered on a hot dog. Mr. Lochner was written out of the will when the meek were guaranteed their inheritance. And just now, he's trying to avoid another kind of payoff. A soulful payoff in that off-track betting parlor we call the Twilight Zone.
Seize your flight, you four-flushing fishfire! This is the second most ill-advised action you have ever taken, Archie Lochner, you miserable garment of human meat. The first was trying to make a bargain that would outwit me. I'm 32,000 years old, you human virus. Even among my peers in the fourth canonic order of demons, I'm considered a truly ghastly dinner companion. Did I mention I enjoy sucking the marrow from the living bones of idiots like you? Whatever made you think you could outwit the magnificence of Volker?
I still got 2 days. The contract ain't up for 2 days. Why is it you're tormenting me?
Because I'm a demon, you imbecile. I don't send singing telegrams. I torment. It's what I do. That's why I'm called a demon instead of the Easter Bunny.
2 days? You made the deal. You don't bug me for 2 days.
Bug you. Bug you. 2 days from now, I'll remember you mentioned bugs. Perhaps I'll turn you into one. A small, black, crawling bug. Not unlike the kind I spear with a claw, crack like a nutshell, and feed to my serpent mate, Diptha. She loves to be bugged.
You gotta help me. You gotta save me. My life is in your hands. It's gonna turn me into a bug, a thing that crawls, and then it's gonna eat me. No. It's gonna give me to his wife, his snake lady, and she's gonna eat me. So you better help me, because if you don't, it's gonna be all over for me.
Why don't you twist off his head, Mr. Lancaster, sir?
I perceive that you must be seriously deranged to burst in here unannounced, Archie, with half my boys looking for you. That is, unless you have secreted somewhere on your scrofulous body the $165,000, including today's interest at 750%, that you have owed me for 3 months, 3 weeks, and 4 days.
You gotta protect me, Mr. Lancaster.
I can do that, sir. I can twist off his head for you, Mr. Lancaster, sir.
Sit, Bork. Nino, before we have Gus and Bork reduce him to his component parts for shipment, would you be interested in hearing his tale of woe?
Calmly now, Archie. Tell us what seems to have unhinged you.
The 165 G's I got loaned from you, I needed it because I had to make this kind of deal with this demon. This thing with big teeth. He calls himself Volkerps.
A supernatural being.
Yeah, you got it. A creature of Stygian darkness, a denizen of the nether reaches, a monster from some nameless plane of witchcraft and horror. Yeah, you got it.
Bork, twist his head off.
No, I ain't making it up, Mr. Lancaster. Honest, I ain't making this up. That thing's after me. He's right off there in the alley.
Go on.
Well, we made this kind of deal, me and this Volkerps. See, he gives me all the winners at Pimlico, Aqueduct, Santa Anita, Hawthorne, Liberty Bell, and Maywood, all in the same day, see?
In exchange for?
First refusal option on 51% of my immortal soul.
Things must be worse in hell than we know. Your soul's gotta be pretty grungy and soiled, kid.
They said good help was hard to come by. He mentioned doing windows and floors. What do I know?
Then you'd be able to pay me back in full. including the crippling interest rate, and you'd finally manage to extricate yourself from the nasty, brutish life that distinguishes you.
Well, that's how I supposed it will be. Oh, yeah, sure. And pigs will fly, eh? I mean, he gave me all the winners, all right. 20, 30, 42 of them. And I bet them all, and they won. Each and every one of them. Except a few of them, they had strokes, and they died as they crossed the finish line. And a bunch of them got disqualified because it was full of dope. And 11 of them got scratched for bumping in the stretch. And on and on and on like that. Oh, sure. They all came in first, all right. And I lost every cent I got for you, Mr. Lancaster. And that's why I've been ducking your collectors. And that's why this Mr. Volkrups is going to come and take me away and eat me if you don't protect me.
Why should I bother, even allowing that this fantasy has a basis in fact?
Well, $165,000 plus the interest for 4 months, including next week.
Miss Thorne is my accountant, Archie. She makes a strong case for your continued existence, despite its truly distinguished wretchedness.
Then you believe me?
I believe that I believe you believe it. As the most powerful underworld figure in this great metropolis, I have managed to make cohesive sense of the rackets. Now I grow bored. Ennui fills my days and nights. Save for the joys of my association with Miss Thorne, of course. You've bought yourself a momentary reprieve through dint of sheer imagination, Archie. I won't have Gus and Bork dissect you. I will assist you. Already I feel heroic. Now tell me, how did you even go about locating a demon in these conservative climes?
Well, this is woman I heard about, supposed to have a strong in with the netherworld. I visited a couple of times. She set it up. I think she gets a commission.
I suggest we pay her a visit. Gus, the car, if you please.
Try to hurry, dear. We have dinner with the mayor tonight.
You are the impressive Cassandra Fishbein, trafficker in the black arts?
I'm a beautician, beauty technician, and cosmetologist. I got a license.
Miss Fishbein, my name is Nino Lancaster. I'm a business associate of Mr. Lochner here. He advises me you served as a go-between, amanuensis, amicus curiae, for him and a, personage named Volkrups.
I'm calling a cop.
Probably not. Very likely in my employ in any case. I ask your assistance voluntarily. Or perhaps I could ask my employee, Mr. Chaucer, to persuade you.
Hey, who the hell are you? Look, I'm just a poor businesswoman trying to make an honest buck in a world of kids hot for purple hair and shaved heads.
Ah, yes. Business. Have you ever considered the range of unexpected tragedies that could befall an unwary coiffeuse, whose insurance premiums, no matter how exorbitant, would not cover the mysterious mixing of DDT with her shampoos? All the inconvenience resulting from perhaps, all of a sudden, the truckers who schlep said wares from the distributors decide they've lost the bills of lading, and said goods wind up in Beirut? Or the constituted authorities suddenly get it into their heads to toss the businesswoman's apartment for illegal and noxious substances, which would, I'm sure, result in said authorities discovering nickel bags of such vegetation and powders stuck down in the pillows of a sofa? Pardon my complex syntax, but I imagine you get my drift.
Well, yeah, I set it up for this guy, but I'm just sort of a clearinghouse for a select few demons and soul traders of a very high quality. There's this quota of souls they have to make each year just to stay in good with the boss, and I'm sort of a canvasser, a scout, to steer likely prospects.
Excellent. Here, you will set up a meeting with Mr. Volkrups for us.
Oh, put me down.
When?
Dare
Now,
You're out of your mind. This Volkerps has a very ugly personality. He'd think I'd turn him. Are you trying to get me snuffed?
have you ever considered how cold and uncomfortable it is being hung upside down on a meat hook in a freezer?
By all the Majas of Solomon's court, by the three-eyed moon of Astaroth, I call thee, Volkerps, to come forth.
Cassandra, I smell betrayal.
Oh, honestly, they made me call you. Get him. Do it, almighty Volkerps. Waste him.
First things first, Cassandra. The little rat human, he has 2 days. But you... Next.
Do understand there? Pile! Pile!
What happened? Where's Nino?
I don't know. He's dead. He's gotta be dead. Volkerps came. Big. He was big and right there. He came straight from hell. He still stunk a rotten egg.
You left him? You ran?
He ran like hell. The thing just fricasseed the woman. Hit her with some kind of laser. It turned her into ashes like an old cigar.
Oh my God, Nino! Nino! All right. That means we have to consolidate our interests. Get the accounts transferred into the corporate name, begin amortizing the rolling stock, and make sure that none of the boys try to take over the territory.
Are you crazy? That thing's gonna fry us and eat us. It's coming!
Who's there?
Nino, open up.
You alone?
I said open the door, now.
Nino, honey, what happened? Can you walk?
Obviously.
Well, is your body burned?
It's going to be a little more difficult than I thought.
I'm doomed. If you can't take him, what chance have I got?
I didn't say it was impossible. I said it was going to be a little more difficult than at first I thought.
How'd she get away?
I dazzled him with fancy footwork. Okay, let's get to it. Gus, Bork, go see Nuncio at the docks. Have him talk to our people at the ship fitting operation. Get me 100 gallons of lead paint.
What color, boss?
Doesn't matter.
Well, it comes in battleship gray, you know, which is like your standard color. Maybe we can get him to mix up a special batch in some nice pastel.
Quiet! I don't care what color. Get gray, get anything, but get me 100 gallons with the highest lead content they can find. Then spray the inside of this office. Ceiling, floor, walls, windows, every inch of it, every corner. Then do it all over again. And when you're done, do it 10 times more. While they're getting the paint, you keep an eye on Archie. I've got a long trip ahead of me.
Hey, wait a minute. You can't just go and leave me here. Where you going? Where's he going?
Some things you don't want to know.
This is gonna save me?
I am not at the pinnacle of my profession for nothing, Archie. We have to wait till midnight. He'll come at midnight. Anybody who wants to go, Do it now. Not you, Arky.
Here's looking at you, kid.
I thought you'd had enough!
I'll give you one chance.
What?
Cancel the contract with Arky. Give him about $1 million to make up for what he lost at the track. Go slime back to your pit, and I won't kick the crap out of you. Hazel, the door! Arky, the patch!
I'm bleeding. I'm actually losing pus, ichor, and lovely slime.
You lousy twerp. Enough is enough. Submit. I order you by the power of Asmodeus, Belphegor, Belial, and the Toad of Death, to suppress thyself. Submit, suppress. Get your miserable, ugly backside into the box, you twerp. You lousy punk. I've had some small experience in these matters.
Is that how you got away from him in the beauty shop?
Mm-hmm. He got me a little, but he couldn't get me very much.
Huh.
Oh, then you. I'll rend you. I'll savage you. I'll shred you. I'll suck your bones dry as death.
Listen, punk. You think you're the first slug from hell, all puffed up with hot air, who ever tried to muscle in on my operation? If you're wondering how I beat you, look around in there. You're small potatoes.
Papa? Papa, what are you doing in here?
You idiot. Oh, I know I shouldn't have left the family business in your inept claws. You're a fool.
Like father, like son.
You saved me. You saved me.
Yeah, I saved you. Now all you gotta do is make a deal with me. Business, Arky, is strictly business.
Oh, Arky. Poor Mr. Lochner. In that magical, mystical bookie parlor we call the Twilight Zone, there's an old, very old saying. Making a deal with a demon is seriously crazy. But making a deal with the master of demons, well, that's crazy as a soup sandwich.
Good morning. You ready to take your test? Okay. I'm going to help you. Now? Okay, just step up on the treadmill, please. First foot. Good. Now, we're going to start out very slowly. Ready? And start. Good. That's not so hard, is it? That's very good. How about a little faster? Good work.
Don't be deceived by the youthful appearance of our subject, Darius Stevens. He abused his body for 79 years. Now he's walking on his own bought and paid for 2 feet, down a path he hopes will lead him into a new life.
This is sick. The man is 79 years old, for God's sake.
And there's no reason why he can't live for another 79.
With an artificial brain? You've turned him into a robot. What does that prove?
No. He's not a robot by any means. He's human.
It's incredible.
Back in the 80s and early 90s, this would have been impossible. But now, with ultra-miniaturization, the sky's the limit.
Well, it seems to me the limit is good sense, and you've overstepped it by a long shot.
Michael, please.
No, I mean it. I mean, this experimenting with people's heads, it's outrageous. Go on, admit it, Wilson. You've never done this operation before on a human. I mean, what might work for a monkey won't necessarily work on a man. Even my father.
It's true. Your father was the first human to receive a total brain implant. However, if things go as expected with the last neurological tests, he'll be ready to lead a normal life within days.
Normal?
Essentially, this is Darius Stevens. We reduced all the memories, all the facts, all the powers of reason, even the feelings that comprise what we knew as Darius Stevens into this microdisc.
My husband has one of those in his head.
No, this was just an interim step. We had to digitalize the data. Then, I'm sorry, I can't explain this without getting technical. He thinks, therefore he is.
Oh, how philosophical of you, Doctor. But let me address another question. As I understand it, my father is just about now 60% machine by weight. Does that sound very human to you? Maybe I'm asking the wrong person. You're a mechanic. You're a man of medicine.
I don't think we need to discuss this any further.
Thank you for everything, Doctor.
We're not out of the woods yet, Anita. Darius was a very active man. It'll be your job to see he doesn't overdo it.
I will.
See you later. So, when is the Tin Man getting back from physical therapy?
Michael, I've had just about enough of your cynical attitude. Sounds to me like you'd rather have him dead.
Oh, really?
It wouldn't have anything to do with you wanting to take over his company, would it?
The fact is, the man is brain dead, and at the very least, he is not competent enough to manage his own affairs.
The man is your father.
No, he was my father. But this bunch of circuits and tubes and wires and
Now,
pumps
you get
are
this
nothing.
straight, Michael. As long as I am in control of his medical care, I don't want you or anyone else interfering.
You don't say so. Let me tell you something, Anita. He was my father for 50 years. He was your husband for 6. Don't tell me whether I can interfere or not. The man is dead. I accept it. Why can't you?
I look pretty good for a dead man, wouldn't you say? Michael.
You look wonderful, darling.
Thank you. I feel terrific. What are you staring at? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Oh, Michael has his opinions as to whether or not you're actually here.
Maybe you're expecting the Frankenstein monster. Hey, Wilson is a Harvard man, but he's not that bad. Hey, come on now. Don't ever forget I'm still your father, right? You're my son.
Well, I've got to be going. Stevens Incorporated can't run itself.
Don't worry, Michael. I'll be back tomorrow. Call New Orleans about that Jensen order. Don't forget to tell Harris about the sales meeting in Phoenix. And have Stein drop some projections on the Western region. I want them on my desk by the end of the day. You got that?
Yes, sir.
Susie, would you come in here, please?
I hope you took your vitamins. You're going to need them just to keep up.
Okay, Susie, there's a couple of things I want you to do for me today.
Knock, knock.
Anita. Or we'll talk after lunch, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were so busy.
No problem. Just give me a second.
Oh, now you've got to learn to slow down, darling. Dr. Wilson said you should ease into it.
Yeah, Dr. Wilson. Well, this is business, and if you snooze, you lose. Great. Okay. Where would you like to have lunch?
Well,
Excuse me. I hope I'm interrupting.
Michael. Larry, nice to see you. You know my wife, Anita? So what can I do for you gentlemen today?
I'm here to enact the company's succession plan.
What are you talking about? You can't do that unless I'm dead or sick. Now, do I look sick to you, son?
Doesn't matter how you look. See, that computer looks fine, but it's neither alive or dead. It's a machine, like you. I'm taking over.
Like hell you are. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm more alive than I ever was. Is that why you're here, Larry? Would you smell a little blood in the water?
Insulting my attorney won't do you any good. He's here for a purpose. Do it.
Are you Darius Stevens?
Now, that's kind of a ridiculous question, even from you, Larry. Hey, what's this?
It's a summons to appear in court.
You left me no choice.
What are you trying to prove, Michael?
What am I trying to prove? That Darius Stevens is dead.
This is all new territory for the law, Darius.
There must have been cases before this. Some precedent must have been set by now.
The rights of patients who've been kept alive on machines have been established over and over and over, but there has never been a test case involving a human being who is more than 50% machine.
Well, what does having a few artificial organs and joints have to do with it? I don't understand.
Well, that's not exactly the point. Nobody begrudges you an artificial heart or liver or kidneys. What's at issue is your brain, and that's a very gray area. Pardon the pun.
That is ridiculous. You wouldn't say that someone with an artificial leg wasn't human.
But your leg doesn't do your thinking for you. As far as the law is concerned, when your brain is dead, you're dead.
But I am not dead. And with this brain, I can do the work of 3 men.
being superhuman may in fact work against you.
But I'm everything I ever was, only better. Everything I felt and thought with my biological brain, I still think and feel. And what makes me most human, what makes any of us human at all, is that drive to live. And I have it inside of me.
Obviously. But what we're talking about is a power grab. And you are up against your son. And he has a lot of cards in his hands.
Damn it! This is my company. I fought to make it what it is, and I'm going to keep it. Keep it.
I'll do what I can. I've already got my staff working on it. Just relax.
Just relax? My own son is contending that I'm dead.
We know better, don't we?
Well, I'm not going to sit on my hands, Dave. I'm going to do a search for any legal precedent that is vaguely related to this. I can do it faster than your staff.
Fine.
Come on. I can do this 10 times as fast.
I am processing the data within normal specifications.
Well, increase your specifications. What did I do with that readout?
I can't believe it.
Oh, hi.
Don't oh hi me. The doctor said you should take it easy.
Well, in addition to my legal problems, I have a business to run and a wife to support. I wouldn't be much good to you if I was broke.
Well, you won't be much good to me if you're dead either.
Honey, I'm really up against it now.
I know. I can't believe Michael would do this.
Well, we have to believe it. The hearings start in a week. I'm going to need your help and understanding. I'll be pulling some long hours to get ready for this.
Are you okay, darling?
Yes, I'm all right. Why?
It's the way you're talking. You're repeating words.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize it. I'm probably just tired.
Darling, we have enough money to live on. Why don't we just turn our backs and walk away?
I can't do it. It's the principle of it.
You can count on me to help you in any way I can. Oh, God, what a day. I'm going to fix myself a drink. How about you, Dave?
Oh, thanks. I gotta go home. I've seen so little of my family in the last couple of weeks, my wife thinks I have a woman on the side.
Darling, can I fix you anything?
No. I was hoping we could go over the Supreme Court opinions. There's one in particular
Give
that
me
I
a break. We're doing fine.
Okay. Where do we go from here?
Day after tomorrow, we'll present our concluding arguments, and it's out of our hands. But tonight, I'm going to go home and get some rest. I think you ought to, too. You sound exhausted. I know I am. Good night.
Good night, Dave. You didn't even say goodbye to Dave.
I'm going over these opinions. I'm a little bit preoccupied right now. Why don't you go home?
Darius Stevens, don't you dare try to dismiss me like that. Look, I'll read these. And you read those.
I'm glad you're not doing research for the other side. Darling. Darling, wake up. It's time to go home and go to bed. Bed.
What?
I'll come back tomorrow and finish my reading.
Don't you ever let up?
You know what they say, the early bird catches
The worm. Are you okay?
I guess I'm just tired. I think you...
Bad sector. Invalid file name. I think you better call the doctor. 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 Retry bad entry. Invalid error. Invalid error. Retry. Bad sector.
Just came to see for myself. My, how the mighty have fallen.
I hope you're happy, Michael.
Me?
You did this. You and your power-grabbing attorneys.
Calm down and don't take it so personally.
To you, this is just business. But you're going to have to live the rest of your life with the knowledge of what you did to your own father.
I didn't do this. He did it all by himself.
What's happening? What is it? What does it mean? What is happening? What's happening?
Just died. Doctor, we have renal failure.
I knew we should have shut his kidneys down when we first came in. Power drain is just too much.
Losing systolic pressure.
What does that mean?
Anita, Michael, wait outside.
Wilson, I think I have a right to be here, and I'd like to...
Outside now.
How is he, Doctor?
Anita, I'm sorry. We lost him.
I want to be with him.
Of course. Go ahead.
So what finally killed the Superman?
Can't explain it for sure. His CPU shut down completely.
What do you suppose caused that?
Whether it's overload or fatigue, I don't know for sure. Maybe we'll know more after the post-mortem.
Well, Doctor, I have just one more question.
Yes, Michael. This time he really is dead.
Thank you. I'll make the arrangements.
Anita,
Darius.
are you alone?
Yes.
Well, obviously things didn't work out like I planned them.
But I thought you were...
Dead? Oh, no. There's still some kick left in this old man yet. Damn Wilson and his prototype anyway. I knew a Harvard man couldn't pull it off.
Darius, it really is you.
You're darn right. But you're going to have to be my arms and legs now. We have a real fight ahead of us, Anita.
Fight?
Oh, you didn't think I was going to take this lying down, did you?
But are you really alive?
Well, that's what we're going to have to prove, isn't it? Now, first, I want you to fill me in on everything that's happened the last few days. Then I want you to go down to the Hall of Records and bring all that information to Dave so he can compare that data with the data recorded at the hospital. Then you'll have to bring Wilson into it because he signed my death certificate. We have the case, Anita.
Darius Stevens, the product of a new generation of medical miracles that began with false teeth, expanded into prosthetic limbs, and reached near godhood in plastic surgery and mechanical hearts. As we continue to second-guess and improve upon nature, we are reminded that there is more to being alive than mere flesh and blood. In the Twilight Zone.
Helping the next man this happens to.
It's been said that all good things come to those who wait. This is Willie Gardner, a man whose lifetime of waiting is about to end. Willie Gardner, a man with limited space, limited horizons, and limited contact with humanity. People float in and out of his life like flotsam and jetsam washing up on the beach. But the law of salvage is about to change all that. Today, Willie is going to find something very valuable on his particular beach, in the Twilight Zone.
Hi, Willie.
Hi.
Candy.
Candy, right.
I was just wondering, Willie. You don't mind that I call you Willie, do you?
I don't mind.
I was just wondering if you'd like to go for a walk or take in a movie, something nice.
You mean go out? Me and you?
Yeah.
Well, I don't get it. I mean, we don't even talk other than you need change for the payphone or something.
Well, sometimes it takes time to get to know someone. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Well, okay, if that's the way you feel.
No, wait. Hey, I really would like to go out with you. That'd be real nice.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, we could go for a walk. How about tonight?
Yeah, sure. As long as you got $50.
Nobody rides for free, Willie.
Haha, very funny. Checkout time, 12 o'clock. Checkout time, 12 o'clock. Good morning, Mrs. Kudaba. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm just fine, Mr. Gardner. And how are you?
Fine, thank you.
About the rent, I'm sorry I'm late again, and I know that. But you see, my checks is late.
I understand. Mrs. Kudaba, does it ever bother you? I mean, being around all these one-nighters?
Where can I move for my Social Security?
I guess you're right. Mrs. Kudaba, yeah, don't worry about the rent. If the landlord asks for it again, I'll cover for you.
Such a nice boy, Billy. You know what? You should find a nice girl, get married, have some kids.
Unfortunately, I don't get to meet many nice girls around here, Mrs. Kudaba.
Well, that's a shame. That's all I can say.
That's all right. It's no problem.
Bye.
Checkout time, 12 o'clock. Checkout time. I wish I had a nickel for every old piece of luggage I ever left in this hotel. One, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110. This is gonna take forever. Wait a minute. I wish I had an ice-cold root beer. Just like I used to have when I was a kid. This is great. What do I need you guys for? I can have anything I want. And this is my new bedspread. It's what they call a blend. It's 50% something and 50% something else, but you'd be surprised. It almost feels like real fur. Mary, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm expecting some other guests.
Hey, you leave? How's it going?
Fine, Danny. Just fine. Thanks for coming. Hi, Candy.
Hi, Willie. Thanks for inviting us. Hey, Willie. What's the girl got to do to get a drink around here?
What you doing? It's not for the TV.
It's busted.
No, it's not for the TV. It's for the stereo. It's not busted. Watch. Volume up. Volume down. Volume up. Volume down.
party. Well, that could be it.
You're a funny guy, Willie. I never knew that about you.
Well, there's a lot you don't know about me.
Really? Yes. Oh, my God. You really know your wine.
Thank you very much.
It's a real bouquet.
Thanks.
It's positively lousy with bouquet.
Listen, if you like it that much, why don't you take a bottle when you're ready to leave?
No kidding.
Sure, take two if you like.
Gee, thanks.
Hey, that's really generous of you, Willie.
That's nothing.
You're fresh, old buddy.
I hope you're not leaving now.
Yo, Willie! That sucker just took the last 3 bottles of wine.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. No, please, calm down, everybody. There's plenty more where that came from. I'll go get it.
Oh, I'll go with you.
No, that's okay. You stay here and enjoy yourself. I'll just be a minute. I wish I had another case of my favorite sparkling champagne. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, Mrs. Kudaba.
Oh, hello, Mr. Gardner. Sounds that you have lots of fun down there in your place.
We are. Why don't you come on down and join us?
Nothing personal, but some of your friends are hoodlums.
Oh, they're not so bad. Come on down. Have some fun.
No, I'm told for that kind of thing.
Okay, shoot yourself.
Good night, Mr. Gardner.
Kudaba.
Kind of stuffy in here. Why don't we go someplace where we can talk?
Okay.
It's real pretty out here, isn't it?
Really pretty.
Kind of makes you forget what's out there in the streets.
Candy. What is that short for?
Beats me. My real name's not Candy. It's Lisa. Candy's just my street name. You think that's funny?
Oh, no, I like it.
What, Lisa?
Well, yeah, that too. But I mean, I really like that you told me your real name.
Yeah, well, listen, Willie. What's a nice guy like you doing without a girlfriend? Don't you like girls?
I like you.
Well, maybe that could work out, you know what I mean?
Not really.
Well, I could be nice to you, and you could be nice to me.
I don't understand.
Well, you know, you could take me out and buy me things, get me a nice place to live.
Buy you things. Get you a nice place to live.
Yeah, you could even stay there sometimes. Sounds nice, huh?
Candy, Lisa, Candy, I'm not just looking for a girlfriend. I'm looking for someone who likes me for myself, not just for the stuff that I own.
Hey, don't get me wrong. Really?
Let's go back to the party.
You throw a great party, Willie. Yo, Willie!
Time to go.
I was checking out your TV set. Great color. Now, I was wondering, there's this big game on tomorrow night, and could I borrow it? Just for the day, you understand.
Keep it.
Serious?
Serious. Take it.
You got it. Thanks, man.
Sure.
Hey, Willie. Did you just give him that TV?
Yeah. What's it to you?
Oh, why didn't you give me the stereo then?
Be my guest.
Really?
Real easy. All right, stereo baby.
Thanks, Willie.
Hey, Willie, how about this vase?
Take them. Go ahead, all of you. Knock yourselves out. Take whatever you want, and then just leave me alone, okay? You're still my friend, aren't you? Well, at least you're honest about it.
Hey, Willie. Party's over?
What can I do for you, gentlemen?
That depends.
Depends on what.
On what you got.
I don't got anything. It's late. I appreciate you dropping by.
Hey! You shouldn't be so rude to your friends, Willie.
You're not my friends. Look, you guys don't fool me anymore.
Keep an eye on him. Hey, get out of there! What do you think you're doing? Stay put. Watch your step. What are you guys looking for? Grab a piece of whatever you got going.
I ain't got nothing going.
Now look, I don't know if you knocked over a bank or what, but we want our cut of the action.
Nothing. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh? Wait, are you calling me a liar? Did Willie here just call me a liar?
Sounded like it to me.
Well, this insults me, Willie. I do not like when people call me a liar. Willie. Now look, I'm gonna make this real simple for you, Willie. You come across with whatever it is that you got, or I will cut your heart out and show it to you before you hit the ground.
Okay, I get the idea.
Smart boy, Willie. Now, what do you got for us?
I got this for you.
Get him! Come on! He went this way, come on! You are dead, you are a corpse! Hey, you guys, what are you doing there? I'm calling the cops! Hey, come on!
not here. I can't take another fall, man. I'm still on parole.
You're on your own, Danny. I'm out of here.
Hey! Where'd the guy go? Can't just disappear.
Thank you. Thank you for working.
Hey! Hey! Hey, open up! Hey! Hey! Hey, up!
Hello? Oh, hi, Mom. How are you? Mom, I'll be okay. I'm not the first girl to get dumped for someone else. Can't we talk about this later? Besides, I think we've discussed this topic a few hundred times. You don't think I want to find a decent guy to spend my life with? I wish. I'll call you later, Mom. Bye.
Willie Gardner, a simple man who discovered in a steamer trunk the difference between possessions and real wealth. Once adrift in a sea of humanity, he's finally found a safe harbor in a port of call known as the Twilight Zone. On the frontier, any frontier, there can be little margin for error. Just as the first covered wagons making their way across the American desert had a finite supply of food and water, so too on this even vaster frontier are there laws that must be strictly observed. Thomas Barton has been piloting emergency dispatch ships for 5 years. He has never been faced with this particular law of the frontier. Until now. Thomas Barton is about to discover firsthand that there are limits, even here, in the boundless reaches of the Twilight Zone.
Computational error, unauthorized payload. Computational error, unauthorized payload. Fuel supply insufficient for mission completion at present mass.
All right, come out of there. I said come out of there. All right, hold it right there now. Right there. All right, come out real slow. Come on. Come on.
All right. I give up. Look, I know I shouldn't have done this.
Who are you?
I was going to Mimir for the Linguistics Academy there. And then I heard your EDS was going to Woden, so I... You see, my brother, Jerry, he works on Woden, on the government survey team there, and it's been 5 years since I've seen him. I haven't seen him since he left Earth. You see, it was just sort of the two of us growing up, and, well, I knew it'd be like a year before I'd see him again. 5 years is a long time, you know. I've missed him. And I know I shouldn't have stowed away, but I didn't want to wait another year. I knew I'd be breaking some sort of regulation. Another look. I'm not a freeloader. I can pay for my own keep once we get to work. And I've got a Class B computer license, and my background is in linguistics, so that might be useful. This is nice.
What's your name?
Marilyn Lee Cross. My brother's Jerry Cross. Do you know?
No, I don't.
Are we going faster?
Yeah, I shut off the engines that were decelerating us as we moved into Woden's star system. I'm trying to save a little fuel for a little while.
Why?
Stardust, this is EDS 34G11. Barton speaking, priority blue. I need to speak with Commander Delhart immediately.
Are you gonna...
Priority blue acknowledged, Barton. Patching you in.
Are you gonna ask them to come back for me? Don't!
Barton, what seems to be the problem?
Commander Delhart, we have a stowaway on board.
I see. I assume you follow standard procedures.
Negative, sir, I have not. Commander Delhart, the situation is a little unusual here. The stowaway isn't a criminal or a smuggler. She's a girl.
What?
Yes, sir, a teenager. She wants to see her brother in Woden. She didn't even know what she was doing.
Oh.
Commander Delhart, is there another cruiser in the area? A freighter or another scout ship?
No, you're too far out. We're the only ship within 40 light years.
What about sending out another EDS?
It would never reach you on time.
What about a ground-to-space transport from Woden? Anything at all, sir?
No, I'm sorry. There's absolutely no possibility of intercept. There's just nobody out there to help. Martin, I'm sorry. I wish to God there was something I could do, but there isn't. You do understand that, don't you?
What does he mean?
Yes, sir, I understand.
I'll get ship's records to Colony so we can make the necessary notifications. Delhart out.
Are you gonna tell me what he means?
The ship is carrying serum for cholera fever. Back to Group 1 on Woden. Their base was hit by a meteor storm. Their supply was wiped out. Do you know what cholera fever is?
No.
It's like meningitis. It's quicker and more painful. Group 2, where your brother is actually 8,000 miles away across the Western Sea from Group 1, so there's no way they can get back to Group 1 in time to help, which means 35 men are going to die unless the ship with the serum reaches them on schedule.
I see, so I'm throwing you off the schedule?
EDS, this is ship's records. EDS.
This is EDS, I acknowledge.
We'll need all the data on the subject's identification disc.
One moment, please. I see your identification disc. ID number T837-Y41, name Marilyn Lee Cross, date of birth July 7th, 2040, place of birth Grand Rapids, Michigan, American Commonwealth, Earth.
Original destination.
Port City, Mimir.
Time of execution.
What? What does she mean?
At what time was the stowaway ejected from the ship?
I'll inform you later.
Ejected? She can't be serious.
Now listen to me. It's my fault because I should have told you as soon as I found you. And I thought maybe once I contacted Delhart could do something about it. I don't know.
If you eject me, I'll die.
I realize that.
Warning. Fuel supply insufficient for mission completion. Moving to condition yellow.
I didn't hurt anybody. I just wanted to see my brother.
Nobody wants you to die, and nobody would ever let it be this way if there was anything humanly possible they could do to change it, but there's not. I mean, these emergency dispatch ships are given just exactly enough fuel to get to their destination, maybe a little extra to allow for atmospheric turbulence.
And my added weight will cause it to lose its fuel before we reach the ground.
Yeah, it'll crash, and you and I'll die, and so will 35 people waiting for the serum.
What about the Stardust? Can't it come to pick me up?
No. God, it's carrying medical supplies and food to the outer colonies. Hundreds of people will die if it doesn't reach its destination on schedule.
You talk like this happens every day, you know? Just like you're throwing some excess baggage overboard.
You don't think I'm going to have to live with this for the rest of my life? I mean, every night when you come to me in my dreams, don't you think if there was anything I could do to help you, I would do it?
Entering Woden gravitational vector phase 1. Engine ignition must occur at T-minus 85 minutes. Mass must be reduced.
It's all just numbers, isn't it? Ratios. Equations. It's nothing personal. It's just mathematics.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It is just mathematics. I mean, H amount of fuel won't power this ship safely to its destination with M plus X amount of mass. It's as simple as that.
X. That's me, isn't it? The unwanted factor in a mathematical equation. I can go alone, or I can take 35 others with me.
In case you're wondering, the EDS doesn't have any sophisticated landing computers. I mean, you can't pilot the ship by yourself.
I know. Thanks for the thought, though. Isn't there anything else?
What, jettison? These things are designed pretty lean. I mean, there's hardly an extra kilogram. Wait a second. Just wait 1 second.
Warning. Fuel supply insufficient for mission completion.
Enough?
Well, we'll soon find out. Damn it, that's not even half what we need.
How long do I have before I have to leave?
I have to reactivate the engines and start deceleration by 1900 hours.
That's less than an hour. Oh, God, how did this happen so fast?
It's different out here. I mean, it's not like Earth. The frontier's so vast that there's no margin for error out here. I mean, you make a mistake, there's nobody can help you.
Entering Woden gravitational vector Phase 2 engine ignition must occur at T-minus 75 minutes.
You want to talk to him? Your brother? Do you want to talk to your brother? I think we're within range now.
Yes.
EDS 34G11 to Group 2 on Woden, please copy.
Group 2, Woden. We copy EDS.
Jerry Cross, please. It's urgent.
Jerry? No, he went out on a reconnaissance mission. He won't be back for a while yet. Over.
Please notify him as soon as possible, then signal us. It's urgent. EDS out.
It seems to go faster all the time, doesn't it? I just want to hear his voice. I think when I hear his voice, I won't be so scared. It's cold in here. Is it cold?
No, it's, yeah, it's colder than it should be here.
Maybe I shouldn't wait, you know, maybe I'm just being selfish. Maybe it would be better for Jerry if you told him afterward.
No. No, that's not what he'd want. He'd want you to wait.
Is it getting dark where he is? I've heard everyone I love. I've been so stupid, so selfish.
It wasn't your fault. It really wasn't your fault at all, and they'll understand that.
I'll never be able to tell them. I never took them for granted. And I knew about all those little sacrifices they made. Also, I wouldn't have to do without. God. Never being able to tell them how much I love them.
They know.
I've read about how people look when they die in space. But I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to die for.
Please, I know you didn't. I know you didn't, and I know you're not to blame, and I'm sorry. Do you understand me? I am so sorry.
I'll be okay.
Signal transmission from G2.
Jerry?
Incoming.
It's Jerry.
Cross here, what is it? EDS, come in. Gerald Cross here.
Jerry? I wanted to see you.
Marilyn? Is that you? What are you doing on an EDS?
I wanted to see you, Jerry, so I hid on the ship.
You hid?
The stowaway. I didn't know what it would mean.
Oh, Marilyn, what have you done?
I didn't mean to hurt you, Jerry. I just wanted to see you.
Sorry, don't cry, sis. I didn't mean it to sound that way. It's just that it's unfair. It's because of me.
Oh, don't feel like that, Jerry. Don't let me go knowing you feel like that.
EDS, have you called Stardust? Is there anything?
There's nothing he can do, Jerry. He tried everything. No one can help me now, I know that. I just wanted to say goodbye, Jerry.
The planet's starting to swing. We're losing contact with the base now.
Jerry, you're fading away, so I have to say goodbye now. But maybe we'll see each other again. I'll be nothing you can see, but I'll be there. Always think of me like that. Always.
Always like that. Never any other way.
Goodbye, Jerry. I love you.
Marilyn, I love you.
Warning, fuel supply insufficient for mission completion at present. Mass. Condition red. Mission status in jeopardy. Condition red.
I'm ready.
In the darkness, Thomas Barton hurtles towards his destination with the realization that there is room for emotion on the wilder frontiers of the universe. Emotion and the memory of a girl who had not known that sometimes it takes a human life to balance a cold equation in the black geometry of the Twilight Zone.
only 4 job applications from last week. We require more than that, Mr. Cranston.
I know that. I know. I thought I was sick.
Did you get any response from any of them?
No.
Are you sure you filled out the application properly?
Yes, I'm sure.
Maybe if you borrowed a nicer coat.
Coat? No, it's not the clothes, it's the time. The longer I'm out of work, the harder it is to find someone to hire me.
Perhaps you don't understand the purpose of this interview, Mr. Cranston. You know, this shelter has just lost its mortgage, and I have to determine people's eligibility so that I can transfer them.
Ma'am, do not... Ma'am, don't you think I'm serious about trying to find work? Do you think I enjoy being broke and living here in this shelter with my family? I work with my hands. I build. I cannot build unless someone hires me. Do you understand?
I think we've talked enough. I have other people to interview. Thank you, Mr. Cranston.
Steve Cranston, a man living what Thoreau called a life of quiet desperation. A man once successful, once firmly ensconced in the American dream, only to have it turn into a nightmare. Steve Cranston, a statistic whose number is about to be called from the Twilight Zone.
It's okay, Steve. Something's got to break for us.
No, maybe it is my fault.
Oh, you know better than that. You'll find a job soon.
Soon is not going to cut it, Elaine. If I don't find something, we're going to be out in the street. You know they're closing this place down.
What about that job program they're starting over in Carsdale?
I told you the job program has been put off for a month. You know how many positions are open? 20. You know how many applications there are? Over 200. Now you tell me what our chances are.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know. I don't know.
Wouldn't you know it? The one piece I need I don't have with me.
Well, what do you suggest be done in the meantime?
Just leave it off tonight. I'll be back in the morning.
Leave it off? I mean, do you really think that's such a good idea?
Oh, look, I've left the arm light on. Nobody will know the whole system's down unless you tell him, right?
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
You'll notice the growth in the fourth quarter profits in...
Yeah, I can see that. But I still want the audit pushed through. If there's any way we can cut back on expenses, salary, budget, personnel, do it.
I have to tell you that there's going to be some opposition. They say they're down to the bone as it is.
No. They're not down to the bone. You know how you can tell? They always start to yell when you've hit nerve, not bone.
by the time you get to the bone, they've stopped complaining because they know they could be next.
I'll do what I can.
You do that. Well, I see you're ready to leave. You have that look.
It is nearly 10 o'clock.
So it is.
I'll stop by tomorrow with the potential tax shelters that we discussed, and I urge you to move as quickly as possible to avoid the year-end rush.
If it's tomorrow, it's going to have to be in the evening. I'd say around 8:30.
8:30.
Something?
Nothing. 8:30. Good night.
Will there be anything else this evening, sir?
No, I don't think so. I'll do a little reading before I go to bed.
Very good, sir.
Stay right where you are.
God. Mister, look, I made a mistake, okay? Don't do anything. I'll give you back.
Don't move! Back up.
You don't understand.
Back up.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna use the phone and call the cops. That's what I'm gonna do. Back up!
No, please don't call the police, mister. Let me explain you something. I got a family!
You should have thought of that before. Now, don't try anything. I'm not afraid to use this thing.
No! Don't you call the cops. I have a family. I have a wife. I'm warning you. Don't you know?
Good morning, sir.
Who are you? What am I doing here?
Just try to relax, sir. You received a rather nasty bump when you hit your head. But the doctor said you'd be all right if you rest.
No, that's not right. I was shot.
Oh, you're confused, sir. You shot the other man, but the police took him away.
What other man? What are you talking about?
Mr. Perry, the doctor was most emphatic about your staying in bed.
Wait a minute. There's a picture here of Lana Taylor, the movie star, and I'm in it. What am I doing in this?
Oh, but as I recall, sir, you and she are romantically involved, I believe.
No, wait. Who do you think I am?
Frederick Perry, sir.
No. No, that's wrong. That's totally wrong.
Perhaps I'd better speak to the doctor again, sir.
Shelter.
Yes, good morning. Is Elaine Cranston there, please?
I'm sorry, she's not here.
No, I have to speak to her. It's urgent. I'm her...
She's at Mercy Hospital. Seems her husband got shot last night.
Elaine? Lisa? Oh, thank God. Thank God.
What are you doing?
What's wrong?
What are you doing here?
Leave me alone.
Honey, what's wrong? Don't you recognize me either?
Of course she does. You're the bastard who shot her daddy.
Stay away from him, do you hear me? Just stay away!
Oh, God, this is totally crazy.
Just because he robbed you was no reason to try and kill him.
No, you don't understand. He tried to kill me.
He was desperate. We have no money, no place to go after tomorrow.
You don't understand. Look, I got all the money we need, babe. I don't know how this... You may not...
You can't buy your way out of this, Mr. Perry. Now get out of here. Now get out. Get out of here before I call the police.
No, I'll drop the... he'll drop the charges. You don't understand. He's not really...
Here you are, sir.
I hate lobster.
I thought you loved lobster, sir.
Things change. Too many things. I'm sorry. Tell the chef it's swell. I guess.
Swell, sir?
Fred?
What are you doing here?
I'm here as you requested. Have some background material on the matters we discussed. And I need a couple of signatures just to get the process going here.
Could I see this just for a minute? This is a lot of money.
You should know. Needless to say, we have a number of options we can pursue here to get the best possible shelter for the money.
Shelter. Let me ask you a question. How much money is this? I mean, if I put it all on a table in a great big pile, how much would it be?
Well, counting stocks, real estate, long-term municipal certificates of deposit, a little over 40 million.
Of course.
And, of course, there's about 800,000 in cash and mutual funds.
And I could spend that, right?
Yeah, sure. You could.
Do you know this place called the 8th Street Shelter? It's a place downtown for the homeless. Their mortgage is running out tomorrow, and I'd like to,
To what? Not buy them out.
Yeah, I would like to buy them out. I'd like to buy out their mortgage. I'd like to make sure they don't close down tomorrow.
But, Fred, you can't just...
Why not? It's my money, isn't it?
But why? What's the reason?
Never mind why. Just do it tomorrow morning.
You sly fox. Something big's going to happen there, isn't it? And you want to be in on it.
Let's just say the decision I make is going to affect an awful lot of people.
Would there be anything else this evening, Mr. Perry?
No, thank you, Lawrence.
Good night, then, sir.
Good night.
Elaine.
Dad!
Steve. Thank God.
What happened? What am I doing back here?
You were shot breaking into the house. Don't worry, sweetheart. The man you tried to rob dropped the charges. You take it easy. As soon as the doctor says you're better, we can go back to the shelter.
The shelter? Isn't the shelter shut down?
No.
City applauds. Benefactor.
Listen to this. Spokesman for financier Frederick Perry announced plans today to buy out the mortgage on the 8th Street shelter. Perry, when reached for comment, simply said that it was the right thing to do.
But it wasn't him. It was me.
Maybe in a way it was. Maybe Perry saw what desperation could do to somebody and thought it was time he did something about it. Best of all, honey, I talked to the director of the shelter, and he said there's enough money now for some real work to be done, and he wants to hire you. I was so afraid I was going to lose you. I'm just so glad that you're back.
So am I. So am I.
It has been a time of changes for Steve Cranston, and the hard times are by no means over. But perhaps now the decisions ahead will be a little easier to make. There are no easy answers here or in the Twilight Zone. We direct your attention to the man with the sleek leather briefcase. His name, Dr. Mallory Craig.
Thanks, bud.
Occupation, psychologist, newly employed by the Crestridge Sanitarium. For the last 2 weeks, he has been visualizing his first day, looking forward to it with eager anticipation. But there's a terror behind those cold institutional walls that nothing in his education has prepared him for.
Dr. Craig?
Yes.
Rebecca Robb. Everyone calls me Becky. I'm the catch-all head nurse, good cop, bad cop, advisor on policy, and tracker down of missing paychecks. Glad to have you aboard.
Thank you. Glad to be here. This place has got a fine reputation. I only hope I can live up to it.
I'll get you the files on your clients. You'll be taking over Dr. Parnett's group, about 6 or 7 people. I think you'll find them all quite fascinating.
Thank you, Becky. Becky, can I see you a second?
Sure.
What can you tell me about this patient? Name of Sharon Miles. It says here she committed herself.
That's correct. Although Dr. Parnett thought there might also have been some family pressure to check in.
It also says she refused to leave the house, was constantly rearranging furniture in strange ways, and refused to sleep anywhere but in a plain white room.
Still does. Since she's been here, she's repainted her room, I guess about half a dozen times by now. Anytime there's a spot or a crack. Dr. Parnett said to let her do it. It might be good therapy for her. She dresses only in solid colors and refuses to leave her room except for meals and counseling sessions. And then only with difficulty.
I've never heard of anything like this before. What's her attitude?
Frightened. Doctor, in my 10 years as a nurse, I've never seen anyone so completely, utterly terrified.
Of what?
I don't know. Even Dr. Parnett couldn't find out that one. Good night, Doctor.
Hi. I know it's a little bit after office hours, but I thought I'd pop by and say hello, if you don't mind. Yours? Nice work. I'm afraid arts and crafts are pretty much beyond me. Tried to make a bookcase once, ended up as a napkin holder. Nice room. Spartan, but very nice.
Thank you.
I've been going over the caseload, and yours is very interesting. I noticed that you graduated to therapy on a voluntary basis.
Dr. Parnett decided not to push matters. If there was something I wanted to talk about, I'd talk about it.
But you haven't. You haven't been to therapy in nearly 2 months. You know, I'm sure if you were to try again, I could arrange for a field trip.
No. I don't think that would be a good idea. Not yet. When I'm ready, maybe.
All right. But if you should ever feel like talking, I think you know where to find me. Good evening.
Ah, good. There you are. I've been looking all over for you. Before everyone went home for the night, I wanted to introduce you to the rest of the staff.
Fine. That'll be all right.
Get it away from me! Get it away from me! Get it away from me!
I told her we don't have any other heavy blankets. It's getting colder and she's
I don't care! Get it away! I don't want patterns!
Look, just go and get 2 or 3 light ones. That should be all right, don't you think?
As long as they're plain. One color, no patterns.
No patterns. I promise.
Guess I didn't make a very good impression last night. I want to thank you for what you did. The staff gets a little impatient with me at times.
All forgotten.
Thank you.
But it would help me tremendously in the future if I understood why you were so concerned.
Hey, Doc. Haven't you heard? Nobody in here but us loonies. We don't have to have reasons for what we do.
I disagree. And for what it's worth, I don't think you are a loony. Scared, yes. And I'd like to try and help. Talk to you for a while.
All right. If you just move that for the time being. After I finished college, I met Jeff. And we got married about a year later. And we had a boy, Bobby. He's 7 years old now. And I don't hate my mother or my father, and I never wanted to sleep with my brother. And I wasn't frightened by a checkered sheet when I was a little girl.
But you were frightened last night. I saw you. You were terrified by that blanket.
No, not the blanket. The patterns.
Why? Don't you want to leave this place? I can't imagine you'd want to stay. Then why don't you tell me?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
You ever look closely at patterns, Doctor? I mean the kind of patterns you find in wallpaper. Cracks in the ceiling. Linoleum floors.
I suppose so, yes.
You ever see faces in those patterns? The way that the cracks and colors come together so that if you look at it, just so, you could swear you see a face.
Of course. We had a linoleum floor when I was a kid. I used to spend hours looking at the patterns, trying to make faces out of them. You see, that's the way the brain works. It tries to find order in chaos. Given the chance, the mind plays a game of connect the dots with whatever it happens to be looking at the time.
Yes, but did you ever wonder why you see faces? Not animals or plants or buildings. But faces.
No, actually, until you mentioned it, it hadn't occurred to me.
It didn't occur to me either. At least not at first. It was Sunday, and I was looking up at the wallpaper. It was covered in abstract patterns, you know the kind. And I was looking up at the wallpaper, looking into the patterns. I saw a face in it. Doctor, I swear it looked back at me. Right at me. I caught it off guard, I guess, because I got the most terrible, horrible feeling that it knew that I saw it. And I looked away. It was gone.
Perhaps you only thought the face was looking at you.
No. No! You know when you're crossing the street and you make eye contact with the driver the way everybody tells you to, and even though you can't see them clearly, you can feel when you've met their eyes. You know they're looking at you. Well, this face was looking at me, just like that. And why did it suddenly disappear?
You said yourself that you looked away. At that moment, your mind rearranged the dots into a different pattern, one without a face.
No, there was something there, Doctor. I saw it and it saw me. It's trying to kill me. I saw a face in it. And Doctor, I swear it looked back at me. Right at me. I caught it off guard, I guess, because I got the most terrible, horrible feeling that it knew that I saw it. Then I looked away. And it was gone.
Staying late?
No, I was just leaving.
Well, I hope you brought your coat. Looks like we're heading into the rainy season. Good night, Doctor.
Good night, Becky. You said yourself that you looked away. At that moment, your mind rearranged the dots into a different pattern, one without a face.
No, there was something there, Doctor. I saw it and it saw me. It's trying to kill me. After I saw the first face, I started seeing more of them. They were watching me, peering out of the patterns of carpet, ceilings, wallpaper. I tried to paint over them, but they kept coming through. Faces in the pile of leaves next door. Faces in tree trunks. Brick walls. Faces in the doodles of my 7-year-old son. My clothes. I had to stop wearing patterns. That's why I don't allow patterns in my room. That's how they come through. As long as they're out of range, I'm safe. Sometimes I get the feeling that I hear them talking, whispering about me, trying to decide what they're going to do about me.
You keep saying they. Who are they?
I don't know. Sometimes I get the feeling that they're looking in from someplace else, someplace parallel to this, that only intersects us at certain points. I get the feeling that they're old. Very, very old.
What do you think they would do to you, finally, if they got you alone?
I don't know. I try not to think about it. And I'm not going to give them the chance to find out.
Did this have something to do with your decision to commit yourself?
I'm awfully tired, Doctor. Could we pick this up?
Will you tell me tomorrow what happened?
Don't resist us. Come here. Come with us. Come with us. Come with us. Don't resist.
Bobby!
Hello.
It's me, Sharon. I've changed my mind. I can't live like this anymore. Someone has to know in case something happens to me. Tomorrow I'll tell you everything.
Glad to hear that, Sharon.
And, Doctor, I lied to you. I think I know what they are and what they're trying to do. To me. I can't trust them not to. Doctor, please. If anything happens to me, promise me you'll protect them. Jeff and my son, promise me?
Well, I promise.
Good morning, Doctor. Pardon the bucket. We had the roof fixed last winter, but it still leaks a lot. The bucket's all over the place. A storm that big always agitates the patients, and last night was a doozy. Around midnight, we had everyone quieted down, except for your favorite patient.
Sharon? What happened?
She just started screaming right in the middle of the night, screaming and pounding on her door, trying to get out. Kept saying she wanted another room, that she had to get out.
Did she say why?
Well, she was hysterical. Any other night, we'd have given her another room, but you know how crowded we are. She was too disturbed to let her wander around, so we had to lock her room. I called for another nurse to help sedate her. She really fought us, too.
Why didn't you call me?
Well, we were going to, but she quieted down. We didn't want to disturb you.
Good morning, Doctor.
You give our nurses quite a night.
Well, I was being silly, and I realize that now. Storms frighten me. Actually, thanks to you, I realize I've been silly about a lot of things.
Such as?
Such as being here, committing myself, abandoning my son and husband just because of some perfectly irrational fears. It's wrong. And I can see that now. I guess all I really needed was someone to talk to.
I fear you give me way too much credit. It's a very pretty outfit. Very intricate patterns, I thought.
Just one more sign that all is well. I called the front office and had it brought to my room. With some luck, I signed the release forms and I'll be leaving here this afternoon.
So soon? I thought we could at least finish our...
We did. And again. Thank you.
Your cab's here. Thought I'd help you with your bags.
Thank you.
Besides, I couldn't just let you go without saying goodbye, could I?
No, I suppose not. All the help is quite appreciated.
Did you hear something?
No. Must have been the wind.
That's not me. That's what it is. That's not me.
Next time you're alone, look quickly at the wallpaper and the ceiling and the cracks on the sidewalk. Look for the patterns and lines and faces on the wall. Look, if you can, for Sharon Miles, visible only out of the corner of your eye, or in the Twilight Zone.
right, folks. Closing time.
Oh, look at this shot. You'll never sink this in a million years. Guy thinks he's the next Fats Brown. Come on, let's get out of here.
Hey, Joe, how come he gets to stay?
Because he asks nice. Now get going.
I'm off to Mulvaney's. Anybody for a beer? Dave, Jesse.
Do you see what I mean? You see what I mean? An impossible shot, but I made it. The right stuff, the right draw, perfect position. And what do I get? Fats Brown, Fats Brown. Well, I'm sick of it, Fats Brown. I'm the best pool cue on Randolph Street. Me, Jesse Cardiff, and everybody knows it. Fats was good. So he was good. But he's dead. Do you hear me? He's dead. He's been dead for 15 years, but every time I turn around, I hear about him. That was pretty good, Jesse, but Fats was better. Fats was the best, Jesse. Fats Brown is dead. If he was alive in this room, I could beat him. You'd see, I'd give anything to play him one game. I'd show you who's best. One game. One lousy game.
At your service.
Jesse Cardiff, pool shark, the best on Randolph Street, who will soon learn that trying to be the best at anything carries its own special risk, in or out of the Twilight Zone.
You called?
But you're
dead? Not really. As long as people talk about you, you don't really die. As long as people speak your name, you continue. The legend doesn't die because the man does.
This is impossible.
Nothing's impossible. Just some things are less likely than others, that's all.
This isn't a rib. You're him. You're
James Howard Brown. See, my friends call me Fats. Now, I know it's a shock, but you called me. I didn't call you.
I didn't mean that it...
It's just let it talk.
I was only...
You like to play with fire, but you don't like to cook. Is that it? You know that you're not as good as you claim to be. You know deep down inside that you're second rate.
Hey, hold on.
Strictly second rate. What, are you afraid? Look, I come a long way. I don't like to be fooled with. I meet guys like you all the time. A little knack, a little skill, a little style. But when the heat's on, you choke. Excuse me.
You've never seen me play. How you know I can't beat you? It is possible, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's possible. But you ain't gonna do it with your mouth.
All right, fat boy, dead or alive. I'll tell you something. You may be some tin god, but I think you're just a big balloon waiting for somebody to put a needle in you. Well, I'm that somebody. And this is a needle.
So you play me then?
Rack 'em.
Steaks?
Steaks?
Yeah, there's something to make the game a little more interesting.
And you're all of it. Hey.
Use your brains, kid. What good is that to me?
And what?
Something to make my long journey worthwhile.
Name it.
You said that you'd give anything to play with me. Anything?
What are you talking about, pal? Just what kind of stakes are you talking about?
Life or death.
What?
You beat me, you live. You lose, you die. It's interesting. It's interesting to see how much faith you have in yourself. You don't want to be the best bad enough, kid. When I was your age, I'd have jumped at the chance. But then again, I wasn't second rate.
Hey, hold on. You say I don't want to be the best bad enough? You're wrong. Do you know how many nights I slept on this table? Yeah, I did that. I made a deal with the owner. That way I could practice after the place closed. I haven't seen a movie in years. I haven't read a book. I haven't dated a girl because it would take too much time from this table.
That's a lot of talk. You'll never know till you risk everything.
Stop pushing! Wait! Don't go.
Then you accept the terms. Life or death.
Rack the balls.
I had this specially made for me in St. Louis. Rock maple, ebony. Cost me $600. I've been making a living from it for about 25 years.
What's the name of the game? 9-ball? 8-ball?
Rotation.
Get out of here. Nobody plays that.
I do. What's money, not up to it?
I'm up to it. I know the rules. 300 points. You toss for that break?
Sure.
Call it.
Tails. Change your mind? You can, you know. Heads. My break. Two balls on the rail. A perfect break. No advantage given. Now it's your turn to scatter the balls.
Do something with that.
Looks like you're sewed up. It'll cost you if you don't connect with the one ball.
Bank. Two rails, 2-ball corner pocket. Did you see that, fat boy? Funny. No man can rise to the occasion when his life is at stake. 2-ball, 2 points.
Not bad.
It was great! You're like all the others. You keep trying to bring me down. When I was a kid, there were plenty of guys like you. Guys that were good at things. Like music, basketball, arithmetic. They'd do everything they could to make me feel this high.
But you fooled them, didn't you?
Right. I knew that somewhere there was something I could be good at. I had the eye for it.
What happened to it?
you scratch. And that'll cost you points.
Your shot.
You have 7.
Game's young yet, my friend. Very young. Shoot. Rack them, please. $15 ball in that pocket, and a perfect break at the same time.
You need every ball on the table to win. I only need one of them.
You know, Jesse, there's more to life than this pool hall. I mean, it's not right for you to keep yourself cooped up here like this. I mean, you ought to get out a little more, see what's going on outside.
You didn't become the best by sitting on a park bench. You spent plenty of time with a cue in your hands.
Yeah, of course I did, but I still had a life. I mean, I've been to places where they never even heard of pool. I know. I don't look the part, but I've made love. I've watched sunsets. I've swam in the ocean. And when I think of all the beautiful things that there are to do in this world, it hurts me to see you rotting away. Because that's what you're doing. You're rotting in this dark room.
You're lying. You're trying to distract me. That's low. You did that on purpose. You made me miss.
A little gamesmanship, a little pressure and you come apart. That's kid stuff. To break your concentration, you go wild.
That's it. The game ball. All my life, I've waited for this moment. Sink it, and I beat you. I become the greatest.
If you sink it.
You're sweating. Why are you nervous?
For reasons you probably wouldn't understand.
Oh, I understand. It means a lot, doesn't it? Even to a dead man. To have your name up there as the unbeatable champion of all time.
Well, it carries a certain satisfaction, yes.
I'll give you a shot at my crown, Jesse. But only if you're willing to stake your life on the game. Couldn't be just a friendly game, could it?
Well, I take him as I get him. It's not just a friendly game to you. It's a life or death thing. So I acted accordingly. You see, the champions and the legends serve a purpose. They're an incentive. They're a challenge.
I don't need no challenge.
Everybody needs a challenge. The great musicians, they're better. They're better because of Bach. They're better because of Beethoven, Mozart. See, I'm just a pool player. But I'm the best.
You were the best. What are you waiting for? Get it over with. You said life or death.
No, you really didn't expect me to kill you, no, did you?
You said if I'd won, I'd live. If I'd lost, I'd die.
And you will. As all second-raters die. You'll be buried and forgotten without me touching you. See, if you'd have beaten me, if you'd have beaten me, you would have lived forever.
You tricked me.
No. No, you just have to be tested under pressure, that's all. Any man can be a marksman if the target doesn't shoot back.
Wait! It's not over! I haven't given up. I'll practice. Night and day. I'm still alive. I can be better. I will be better. From me again, Fat Strong.
Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime. And departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time, on the earth as we know it, and in the Twilight Zone.